Hello there you, and welcome to the Chaos Hell planet of Entropy, where Tau forces have just made planetfall as they attempt to dislodge their vile foe from a much-needed strategic planet. Will the Tau's firepower be enough to win them the battle, or will the chaotic forces of Entropy bring the Tau to their knees? But before we do get into today's slobber knocker, I just want to say a massive shout out to all you channel members who helped keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not click the join button down below? But while you're at it, go ahead and check out the amazing ChaoticPinky store. We've got some really cool merch over there. With all that being said, let's get on with the battle. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, and what promises to be quite a brutal battle that we have here today. So, we have got the Tau on this side over here, Chaos over this side. Now, the Tau have actually got a little bit of an advantage here. You can see that we've got this little bit of a trench line here. It's going to offer a little bit of a natural barrier, helping to protect the Tau's flank as they meet the gunners out here. And already I can see railgun rounds shooting across the map, lighting up the Chaos Horde as it makes its way forward. 3.5 million chaos on the field here today, ladies and gentle giants. Now, the initial waves of chaos over here are going to be full of just the renegade gunners who are going to be charging into melee, as we can see, against the Karut warriors. And as the front line is already starting to develop. But as the Chaos Horde goes on, we're going to start getting marauders. We got a couple of plague ogrins. We even have some corrupted lemon rust tanks coming in at the back as well. Now, the Chaos do actually have range units. You can see already a couple of them are starting to gather up here, laying down covering fire into that front line. But of course the Tau sitting at the other end of the field here, laying down covering fire also. Look at this though, it's a massive melee front line that we've got developing along the front. Now, one thing that is quite interesting is that bit by bit the Tau will start focusing at some of their firepower into certain areas at this front line, like over here now. Don't know if you saw that then, but there was a gigantic cut that came into it. Oh, and there we go. A gigantic railgun round. Now I realise railgun rounds aren't meant to explode in a circle, but it's just a limitation within the game. But yeah, you'll see these bullets stripping out and ripping open the front of the Chaos lines, and it'll just allow these little pockets of Karut to advance forward. In fact, I can see one already starting over here. You can see that there's a tiny little bulge in the line where the firepower has been concentrated. So anytime you see that happening, yeah, it just means a load of cultists have been annihilated. Speaking of, we've got quite a big one over here. Look at this. Karut surging forward through the renegade gunner masses here, who they themselves have put up a gigantic wall of bodies to try and slow the enemy down. Let's go have a look at the flank though. So you can see the natural choke point here taking a hold. The Karut not really bothering with much of the trench. Same with the Chaos at the moment. However, the Chaos may end up trying to bring some forces round. Here we go. We can already see him starting now. Gosh, the Goon's already starting to fill up the trenches. We're barely into the fight here. A brutal fight is going on though for the corner of this trench line. Looks like Karut actually managing to push forward a little bit here. Thanks once again to that firepower in the background. Looks like a couple of them hammerhead tanks have also pushed up to the front line here. It's a brutal back and forth though. It does look like one, though, that the Karut are winning, which they should be against renegade gunners, quite frankly. But bit by bit, as they make their way through these renegade gunners, we can see these plague ogrins go their way to the front line. And let me tell you, folks, they will absolutely decimate infantry. Although it looks like that one just got hit by a railgun round, so he's not going to be decimating anything anytime soon. Here we go, though. There's one over here. Look at all that, then. I don't know if you saw that, but about 50 Karut just got absolutely stomped in a single blow. They are not to be messed around with. Chaos looking like it's struggling to get reinforcements into these center lines. The firepower here. Actually, this looks like a complete killing zone for the Chaos. Oh my days. We've got these two little defilades starting to protrude on either side here. And look, the Chaos are just funneling units into the center. And because these guys in the center are closer, the Fire Warriors' firepower is all focusing into this point. It's an absolute massacre. I mean, to be fair, we're struggling to get... Look at how fast these Karut reinforcements are moving up from behind here. They are advancing at a rapid pace, though. But like I said, the more and more that they advance, the harder and harder that the Chaos Army is going to become for them. That's a brutal sight. I think the only thing that's really keeping people alive at the moment, from the Tau perspective here, is the fact that so many Renegades are on the front line that the heavier units can't get there. But look at this, we've got a couple of Marauders now starting to trickle in bit by bit. And after these guys, we're going to start getting the Plague Ridden also, who are also on the field. Yeah, that's going to make things really difficult for the Karut on the front line. When the Plague Ridden get to the front, we may see a drastic change here in the dynamic of the combat. At the moment, though, the Tau really trying to focus down these Plague Ogre and stopping them getting to that front line. You can see that the Chaos are bringing more and more reinforcements around this flank here. But again, the only way in is actually through that little pot there. I don't think there's any way down over here. Yeah, it looks like it's all blocked off until you go over there. So they're not going to be coming around that far anytime soon. But that's how firepower leveling itself into the flank here. We've also made this lovely little corpse pile on this side here. Look at this. Oh, the tower having an absolute field day with this one. But what this is going to do is, bit by bit, the bodies are going to build up, and that's going to build a bridge across this trench line. Slowly but surely. So, while this seems like a complete waste by the Chaos, it's actually an effective tactic. That it's going to take time, but it will help them to access that flank. I mean, look at this front line, though. So many Karut there. It's absolutely a brutal back and forth between the two teams at the moment. We're just waiting for these Plague Trolls to get in. Oh, God, the Nurgle rounds, man. Decimating hundreds and hundreds of Renegades each time. I'd actually love to see, like, a Railgun round go through a Plague Troll or something. It'd just be, like, can you imagine that in real life? This gigantic hole and all the horrid smell coming out of it. And whatever else is inside. I do like this, though, this jagged front combat line. That Tau firepower allowing the Karut to keep pushing forward. Because the Tau are actually moving up. Oh my God, look at this. That was the front line. That's where it started. That's how it's going. But you can see that all the Fire Warriors here are lined up now, providing that covering fire. Now, the Chaos do have their own return fire here, but it's really hard to see in amongst all the others. But you can see these little flashes of light in amongst their lines here, as they too also bring up their guys. Look at all the goo on the floor on this side. Karut putting up a stalwart attack here. The Chaos is starting to crumble. Again, look, we get these little funnels. Oh my God. That's absolutely brutal. But again, the Chaos able to fill it in really quickly. You can see, though, that the corrupted tank fire now is also starting to come into play bit by bit. We've got shells starting to rain down on the Fire Warriors. This means that the firepower on the back lines is gonna start diminishing very slowly here. But yeah, there's quite a few tanks. I love this, where they're focusing firepower down into these little groups. And you can just look, it's happening again over here. Oh, it just seems like every time I come over here, though, it stops. Oh no, it's happening there. Gigantic holes are being cut into the front lines of the Chaos Army. Just look at that floor. Absolutely insane. Actually, kind of looking like we're starting to run out of reinforcements a little bit here for the Karut. We're taking one too many losses. I think it actually might be something to do with this hill. Look at that. That's giving the Chaos loads of cover on this side, which means that they can just keep up the troop amount. Whereas in the center over here, I guess they're sort of being pulled out into a Chaos killing field. Looks like the Chaos have got quite a few guns of their own trained on these guys on the front. And it is whittling them down bit by bit. The Karut line's getting thinned out here. We can see that more reinforcements are coming from the further flanks to try and block this gap. But oh my God, that's actually looking like it's going to break. We've got so many Karut here on either flank, though. We can't have the center lines collapsing here. That'd be absolutely devastating. A complete travesty. Come on, get some of these reinforcements from that side over here to the center. Oh my days, that is looking bad. Right, what I want to do very quickly, though, I want to hit a little time-lapse camera, because I'd like to see the ebb and flow of these front combat lines, the grey against the black blobs here. We'll be back in a second when the Chaos manage to break through that line, because I think that's going to happen. But yeah, let's get us a little bit of a nicer view here where we can see the two colours a little bit more clearly. But yeah, enjoy the ebb and flow. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, where it looks like we've had a major collapse of the Karut line here. The Chaos are coming, surging through, trying to outflank the Karut line now, and they're having some success. Again, look at this. Oh, look who it was. It was the return of the Plague Ridden to the front line. They were the ultimate demise here of the Karut. As I said, they might well be, to be fair. But now you can see that the Karut Fire Warriors here, the Karut Fire Warriors, what a sentence. Now you can see that the Fire Warriors are actually backing up away from this hill as the Chaos come surging forward. But they're taking heavy losses. It's a big open field. You know what the tower like with the big open fields and the ranged firepower here. Even with the demonic presence on the front line now, trying to carry them forward, propel them into that glorious victory here for the pestilence of Nurgle. They are still taking extreme losses. The firepower per tower barely holding them back, but it is holding them back. Even the big marauder dudes here taking an absolute beating. What Chaos need to do realistically, you get some gunners up to that front line. Again, look, I'm amazed that they're just really struggling here. I guess it's because a lot of them on this side are still trying to take out the Karut, who are going to be the closest to them. They've been holding out this flank really well, though, I've got to say. But again, look at that, the demonic presence on the front line, chewing through the Karut reinforcements here really quickly. Now, we do have a lot of firepower still backing this up, so it's not over yet for the Tau. They've still got 40,000 troops. Our flank is still holding on this far side, but it actually looks like the Karut now have pushed up to this side, taken the fight to the enemy, trying to stop them from building that corpse bridge there. And it did actually work by the looks of it. But slowly but surely, this flank is going to get enveloped as the forces of Chaos break their way through the main line here. There's no more reinforcements coming in for these Karut. They've just got to fight it out to their death, hold on to the line as best as they can. The center is holding for now. You can see the Chaos Gunners have made their way up, providing covering fire here for their allies as best as they can. The tower's still taking heavy losses as they come down now to 30,000. There's about 25,000 fire warriors here, so yeah. That last 4,000 that we've got now, that's all going to be in the Karut. There is a couple of tanks and stuff like that left alive, but they're not really in any meaningful numbers here for the kill counter. Yeah, so it looks like Chaos is wrapping up this flank now, starting to maneuver its way around. But again, they've still only got these small funnels, luckily enough for us. Although that actually looks... No, okay, maybe not. They have actually got a corpse bridge on this side. Never mind. The Chaos here outflanking the Karut now. Karut doing a really good job of holding this side, though, despite being completely outflanked. Taking them heavy losses. Got not much of a demonic presence on this side, so I think they've just been getting loads of free kills, basically. There's still 1 million Chaos remaining here, though. Did the Tau deploy enough troops to this front line? It looks like we're going to start getting a bit of a staggered defense now. The Tau backing up bit by bit here, trying to create some gap between themselves and the advancing enemy. Luckily, though, a lot of them are going to be distracted by the Hammerhead tanks. These Hammerheads live up to the name. They're tanky. They can tank a lot of damage. So hopefully this will help out the defenders, the attackers, just a little bit here. Otherwise, they're going to lose their foothold. But the Chaos Army, look at that, all across it. Even the Lemon Russies now have moved up. I mean, I'm pretty sure Lehman is not going to be happy that some of his tanks have been corrupted here. Let's go over to this side now, because yeah, it looks like all of the crew on this side have now fallen. And it is the gigantic surge forward. Oh god, look at that vast horde splitting open the horizon here. As bullets rip across the field. The corpses already really starting to mount up. Oh man, as they get close, they just get evaporated. It's looking like only the demons getting through the front lines here. Just taking a pounding, but even the demons eventually getting cut down by the Tau firepower. Some of them are getting pretty close, though. I've got to give them that. Look at these two here. They got pretty close, but no cigar just yet. Now, one thing that the Chaos don't want to do is round up all the Tau into one position, which is actually something that they might do. See, now, something interesting here. The Chaos can actually herd the Tau like sheep. So if the Chaos start pushing down this flank here and around this way to try and encircle the Tau are basically going to end up balling up in the center over here. And yeah, 25,000 fire warriors back to back. I wouldn't fancy Chaos's chances at that. So what Chaos actually really needs to do is push it at this center line here, where it's actually really weak at the moment. You can see there's only a few fire warriors scattered here. But if Chaos manages to push its units down this center line and split these two armies in half, it might actually have a pretty decent chance here of winning this. I mean, they're already down to 700,000 units. Again, the open fields here playing right into the Tau's advantage. They are thinning out them hordes as they come forward. Only demons and marauders are getting close here, and even the marauders are struggling. See them XV8 suits in the background as well, still pumping out that firepower. Deadly bursts of pulse carbide as well. And they really do take out hundreds of Chaos with each one of them bursts. I just love watching this Chaos horde get thinned out really slowly as it makes its way forward here. Again, only the demons are making it through the Tau firewall. And to be honest, some of these lakes are really going to hinder Chaos as well as the fight goes on. We could start getting some natural defense barriers here. I mean, if we can make this deep enough, because it certainly looks like it can be made deep enough, Chaos won't be able to pass through it, and then they'll be funneled again. Oh, look at this. This is what I was on about earlier. The Chaos don't want to be doing this. Because look now, the Tau units are starting to go into a little bit of a death ball here. And when I say a death ball, I mean that. Oh, although we have got this gap extending in the center lines. So hopefully if Chaos just pushes these away from that group, but there's one thing that has to be said. The guys on this side have actually thinned out the Chaos reinforcements significantly here. Oh my god, look at this. The Chaos now actually running out of Renegade Gunners to absorb the bullets. So many bullets have come forth. I think a lot of these guys are sort of stuck on the outside of the map. Because I think the boundary to the actual map is like here somewhere. So these are technically on the outside of the boundary. But yeah, that's why it's taking them so long to filter the way back in. But look at this. The Tau have cleared the gap. That just means that the firepower is going to get more and more focused, which is exactly what the Chaos don't want. Oh my god, look at this. They're clearing out the flanks so fast here. Chaos aren't going to know what's hit them. In fact, these guys can pretty much in a few minutes come up and help these guys. There's only 400,000 Chaos left. The Tau are at it again, luring their enemies out into these vast open plains where they can just annihilate them at range. We've seen this tactic from the Tau a few times. They did it to the Eldar not so long ago. The Eldar were about to win, and then the Tau retreated to this vast open plain, and the Eldar just got annihilated. And now it looks like the same is about to happen to the Chaos. Oh my days. So I am going to hit a little time-lapse camera here because we're going to be chasing units across the battlefield. Oh, look at this. We've got a load of Chaos reinforcements coming in. But yeah, so I'll try to keep it a wide angle so we can see all the groups here. But we'll be back in a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are coming down to the last 360 Chaos. Now, you might have seen that a load of the Chaos went off down here, chasing loads of them across the field. Yeah, most of them ended up dying, but it looks like Lee Tao have been victorious here. Let's quickly go and scoot across the battlefield. I want to see the remnants that we left behind, because, oh my days, oh, look at all these. Yeah, that's a lot of bodies that we left in our wake on the battlefield here today. Oh, look at this area. Oh man, it's just absolutely plastered in Chaos corpses here. So many tanks, everything just destroyed. And we also made this gigantic little lake here, man. Got a little bit of depth to it, not too deep, but it's deep enough. But ladies and gentlemen, of course, all good things must come to an end. And as always, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, until next time, peace.